Tune Review Print Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @TuneReview. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@tunereview.com. That is INFORMATION@CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, date Wednesday the 24th of May 2023, read to you by Hunter and Ian. Nursery evicted. The preschool education of nearly 80 youngsters in Kirkintilloch has been left in tatters after the takeover of a nursery. Tender Loving Childcare Centre, TLC, were given just 14 days to evict the premises after a businessman purchased the building last year. The nursery, including all staff and children, some as young as 6 months old, are to vacate the premises today, Wednesday, May the 24th. Now staff have told of their heartache at the move, which they say will disrupt the lives of 78 children, all of whom are happy and secure here. A spokeswoman for the nursery told the Herald, "The destruction of our business and the profound effect this is having and will have on the local community is very distressing to all. It will result in 15 members of staff being made redundant, and it will disrupt the lives of 78 children." The building was bought over by a Glasgow-based dentist, Georgios Kantopoulos, who sought a court order to remove TLC from the building. That was approved in January this year, with the new owner issuing an eviction order of just 14 days to the nursery on May the 10th. It is understood Dr. Kantopoulos has his own ambition of running a nursery from the premises. The Herald reached out to the new owner for a comment, but have yet to receive a response. However, in a post to the Scottish Nursery / Early Years Staff Facebook page, Dr. Kantopoulos defended his actions, saying it was far from the truth that what was happening was his responsibility. He wrote, "The lease expired last July. I gave them notice 1 week ago. I had an agreement to buy the nursery in October 2021. The operator stopped communicating with me for months up until February 2022. That prompted me to give them notice in May 2022 that I will withdraw my offer unless the information I asked not be given in a month's notice. Again, I did not receive the information. I withdrew my offer at that point. When the operators came back, willing to proceed with the transaction, I made another offer with a reduced price. This was not accepted, and we are here. Again, there was a way that there would be no disruption at all, but the operators chose this way. TLC has been run from its current premises since 2007 and operates its services for children in contract with the East Dunbartonshire Council, EDC. Anne Davey, Deputy Chief Executive of EDC, told us, "We are providing parents with support and advice on alternative provision that may be available. For those parents / carers who access their child's funded hours at TLC Nursery, our early years team will support the transition of the funding to an alternative local authority, early years centre, or funded provider. Following communication by the owners of TLC, we have sent out further information to parents to inform them of how and where they can access support regarding access to early learning and childcare places." TLC say they were not given the opportunity to agree a new lease with Dr. Kantopoulos and told the Herald, "We understand Dr. Kantopoulos is suggesting to parents they can send their children to the nursery once we have left. He has now approached staff employed in TLC to offer employment from the date of eviction. He does not appear to understand that the children in our care are funded by EDC, and we have a contract with EDC, which he is aware of. By evicting the nursery, Dr. Kantopoulos will inherit an empty building. TLC currently cares for around 80 children from the local area, all of whom are under school age. This includes 12 children who are considered to be very young, between the ages of 6 months and 2 years. An online protest group set up to raise awareness and support against the eviction has amassed almost 550 followers and seen a huge reaction amongst the local community. Posting about the situation, Save Our TLC wrote, "We find it disgusting that a health professional who is meant to hold empathy and compassion can evict so many children and staff with 1 week's notice. Dr. Kantopoulos, I wish you to know you're impacting children's health and well-being, children who have been there and cared for and loved since they were newborn. I wish you to know about the staff you're also impacting, the staff who have cuddled and loved their children as their own, staff who have encouraged them to develop and reach milestones while parents have to work. These staff you're now making redundant with 1 week's notice. They are people too, with children themselves, mortgages, bills and commitments." This Week in History, read by me, Ian McKenna. May the 25th, 1951, British diplomats Burgess and Maclean were first reported missing. On this day last year, Sue Gray's full report into Downing Street parties in Whitehall during the coronavirus lockdown was published. May 26, 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono began a bed-in for world peace in a Montreal hotel. May 27, 1941, the German battleship Bismarck was sunk. On this day last year, Spain topped a ranking of the best value overseas destinations for UK holidaymakers. May 28, 1967, Francis Chichester arrived back at Plymouth after sailing around the world single-handed in Gypsy Moth 4. May 29, 1982, Pope John Paul II became the first pope in 450 years to step onto British soil, and the first to pray side by side with the Archbishop of Canterbury. On this day last year, Ride London returned after the pandemic with a new route through Essex. May 30th, 1946, Labour Minister of Food John Strachey announced that bread would be rationed, with the greatest allowance going to manual workers in heavy industry. On this day last year, 24th of May, more than 1 million journeys were made on the central section of London's £18.9 billion Elizabeth Line Railway in the first 5 days it was open. New housing is unveiled. A new affordable housing development on the site of the former Laresland Primary School has welcomed its first tenants. The 38 smart new flats are situated in a mixture of 3 and 4 storey buildings, which contain 1 and 2 bedroom flats, and will be used as council housing. Part of the Kirkintilloch Town Centre master plan, the development includes 4 wheelchair accessible flats and 8 amenity flats on the ground floor for tenants with specific health needs. The remaining flats are general needs housing. Megan Cassidy, partner Mikey Hanlon and Dog Lily have moved into one of the new wheelchair accessible flats. Megan told the Herald, "We are really happy with the flat. You can tell it's been specifically designed and adapted for a wheelchair user, which is amazing. It is a lovely area and all our neighbours seem really nice. I think we'll be here for a long time." East Dunbartonshire Council worked in partnership with Cruden Building and Cortact Early Architects to ensure that the homes were designed and built to complement surrounding buildings within the Kirkintilloch Conservation Area. The development, which included the demolition of the old school, was complete within 2 years and the final flats were handed over in April. Councillor Paul Ferretti told us, "I am delighted to see the completion of this smart and sympathetic development. The site forms just one part of the Council's affordable housing investment programme, which is helping to meet the needs of local people who are finding it increasingly difficult to get on the housing ladder." Site works included the creation of new parking spaces and soft and hard landscaping. Artefacts from the original school have been incorporated into the build, including the school's date stone, now displayed in the landscape courtyard, with original stonework used to create boundary walls, bin stores and bicycle sheds. In addition, 2 cast iron columns from the world famous Lion Foundry are now being used as street lighting in the courtyard.
Enjoy You Cycle Fest, as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. 3-day cycling festival will take place at Strathclyde Country Park from May the 26th to the 28th. Organised by North Lanarkshire Council, Strathclyde Cycle Fest offers everyone a chance to try out cycling of all types, from the skills and tricks of BMXing to learning to ride for the first time, and all the activities are free. On the Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m, there's a drop-in BMX session at the pump track at Bells Hill Gateway. Then between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. on the Saturday and Sunday, cycling sessions will be run by Social Track, Getting Better Together, Dr Bike, Play On Pedals and others at the Foreshore Events area and Bells Hill Gateway. During the weekend, 3 guided walks will be led by Get Walking Lanarkshire and the Park's Countryside Rangers. More at northlanarkshire.gov.uk/cycle-fest. Council on hunt for taxi drivers. Are you looking for a new career? And do you have the drive to take a new direction in life? East Dunbartonshire Council, EDC, is encouraging applications for new taxi operator licences to increase the number of vehicles available locally. On September the 30th, 2019, a cap was introduced on the number of licences issued by the Council. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of local licences has fallen below that cap. EDC is now inviting applications for approximately 80 licences. To ensure the opportunity is open to all, you can apply for up to 2 operator licences. To help support applicants, the Council has, for a temporary period, relaxed the requirement to own a vehicle prior to applying for a licence. Applicants do not need to complete the purchase of a vehicle until it is confirmed that a vehicle licence will be granted, although you will have to provide the make and model of vehicle you intend to use to ensure that it is permitted. Once confirmation has been given and all checks are complete, you will then need to submit full vehicle details, including registration number, insurance information and proof of ownership, prior to the licence being granted and plates being issued. Applications received after the cap has been reached will be added to the Council's waiting list. The application itself will not be processed and any fee will be refunded. For more information and application details, visit www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/taxi-operators. New remote A&E service a success. The Health Board's virtual A&E service has been hailed a success after a huge percentage of patients were fully discharged remotely. Since its launch in December 2020, the service, using a team of A&E care practitioners delivering urgent care over video and telephone, regularly sees upwards of 2,000 patients per month. And of those seen, 40% of patients with a vast range of injuries and ailments were fully discharged. The virtual A&E service is known as the Flow Navigation Centre, FNC, and feedback from patients on their experience revealed 1,050 of 1,077 indicated they'd use the service again. Project lead Ed Poole told the Herald the FNC plays a vital role in helping our patients get urgent care in the easiest and quickest way possible. Wait times are far less and physical A&E and patients find the service helpful, which is reflected by the extremely high satisfaction rules measures across all patient demographics. Accessible via NHS 24 on 111, the NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde-led service is specifically designed for patients who would otherwise have gone to a physical A&E. The digital-first approach allows experts to assess and provide health and advice to patients remotely, in many cases helping them avoid a trip to the hospital. The virtual A&E team can also schedule minor injury unit appointments, meaning if a patient does need to be seen in person, they can avoid sitting in a waiting room for any long period of time. Patients can also be referred services such as a pharmacy or GP.
Having your say. Residents, businesses and groups are being invited to help prepare the way for a vital document which, when adopted, will guide the future use of land in East Dunbartonshire. The Council is beginning work on its next Local Development Plan, LDP, to be known as LDP3 and wants to hear from locals. An LDP sets out a long-term vision for where development should and should not happen. It is vital for addressing climate change, delivering high-quality places to live, attracting new jobs and investment, regenerating town centres, and protecting historic and natural environment. The current Local Development Plan, LDP2, has been adopted and will remain in place until LDP3 is fully approved, expected by early 2028. To find out more and have your say, head to east-dunbarton.gov.uk/LDP3-DPS before June 27th.
Region's kids pedal to success. East Dunbartonshire's pedal to success with record number of pupils completing their on-road cycle training. Over 5,000 East Dunbartonshire pupils have become bike safe over the last 5 years, completing their Level 2 on-road cycle training. Managed by Cycling Scotland, Bikeability Scotland training is free for pupils. Among the benefits seen are improved hazard awareness, confidence and eagerness to cycle more after the training. Surveys found 65% of children were more confident cycling after the training, with 82% of parents more in favour of letting their children cycle as a result.
Heartache of TLC parents. Parents of Tender Loving Childcare Centre in Kirkintilloch have been sharing their heartache with the Herald after they were told the nursery was being forced to close. Staff were given just 14 days to evict the premises after a takeover of the building by businessman Georgios Kantopoulos. The nursery, including all staff and children, will vacate the premises today, Wednesday, May the 24th. And that has left many in the community at a loss. Jade Mitchell, whose daughter Nova had been at this nursery for 18 months, said she keeps going between angry and upset. She added, "Nova's absolutely heartbroken. It took her a while to settle and we're having to rip her away from that. It's horrendous. I've spent the last few days phoning nurseries in the area and trying to go in and visit nurseries. It's a stress no one needs." On top of the stress and emotional upset surrounding the upheaval, Jade and her husband are facing difficult financial and logistical problems. If they cannot secure a spot for Nova at a nursery, and her younger sister Eden, who is due to start at TLC later this year, then Jade may have to go give up her work as a dental nurse. Her husband, Brian Porter, called the situation terrible, adding, "My daughter doesn't understand why she can't go to TLC anymore. She's confused and heartbroken. She'll really miss the amazing teachers and all of her friends. We're having to find a new nursery place while meeting work commitments. Any new nursery is likely to be much further away from our home, which isn't ideal." Another parent, who did not wish to be named, told how the family had been left devastated, with her 1-year-old daughter now without a nursery. She added, "This is disastrous, as there is already a shortage of childcare provision in the area. Other local nurseries in the area have waiting lists of months, if not years, and many do not cater for under 2s. One father added, "We had to just tell my 4-year-old son yesterday that today is your last day. He is heartbroken." Footballer convicted of sex attack in Kirky flat. A Scots footballer was last week convicted of a sex attack on a sleeping woman. Salwyn Kuder Isa, 27, preyed on the 23-year-old at a flat in Kirkintilloch on October the 31st, 2021. Glasgow Sheriff Court heard that Airdrie forward stripped to his boxers in bed and touched the woman inappropriately. Kudir Isa claimed he went into the bed to get a good sleep and believed the woman was awake. The victim told jurors about the horrific attack just hours before Kuda Asasa was named in the Airdrie squad for their Crunch promotion playoff match with Hamilton Accies last Wednesday. The woman told how she met the footballer at a friend's flat after a night out. She went to a spare bedroom alone at 5 a.m, with Kuder Asser warned by a friend to stay in the living room. Prosecutor Mark Allen asked the woman for her next memory. She said, "I woke up and I could feel someone behind me. That's when I realised what he was doing." Mr. Allen asked who was behind her. She replied, "Salim." The woman described how Cowder Isa intimately touched her. She added, "I woke up really shocked. I went into bed myself and was shocked to have someone behind me. I was shouting, 'What are you doing?' And he said, 'I thought you were awake. What have I done?' It wouldn't matter if I was, as there was no consent." The woman added that Cowder Isa knew he was going to get himself into so much trouble. She told how he left the flat and that she phoned the police around lunchtime to report the matter. Mr. Allen asked how that morning made her feel for the days and months that followed. She replied, "Horrendous, so anxious about everything. It is so horrible that someone could do that to you." Cowder Isa told jurors in his evidence he was not able to get comfortable sleeping on the couch, so went into the bed to get a good sleep and lay beside the victim. He claimed he removed his clothes as he was hot during the night and admitted rubbing the woman's leg and kissing her neck. The footballer added that he went on to carry out a sex act on her, stating, "I had belief she was consenting by the way she was moving about the bed, moving her body to me." Cowder Isa now believes the woman was asleep due to hearing her evidence. After she confronted him in bed, Cowder Isa told a friend, "I've explicitly deleted it. I thought she was awake." Mr. Allen asked, "There is one easy way to make sure she was awake, isn't there?" Cowder Isa, "I suppose so." Mr. Allen, "You didn't ask her if she was awake during any of this?" He replied, "No." Cowder Isa was escorted out of the flat and was picked up by teammate Max Curry, who took him then to training. The first offender, also of Kirkintilloch, then handed himself into police later that day after watching a football match with his uncle. He was found guilty of a single charge of sexual assault. Ahead of sentencing, he was placed on the sex offenders register and granted bail. Right Royal Recognition. A mother who set up a charity to support parents and children with ADHD has been recognised for her efforts by the King. And Geraldine Miners said it was a huge honour to be praised for her work over the past 8 years. Founder and chairwoman of ADHD Parent Support West Glasgow, she set up the support group after her son was diagnosed with the condition. Realising there wasn't a specific network to help families like theirs, she started the group, which has gone from strength to strength. She told the Herald, "I set up our group after finding that there were no local support for us as parents to help us parent our children with ADHD. My son at the time was only 7 when he was diagnosed. Now he's a fine 20-year-old, and our group has gone from strength to strength with the support of the many people who come along to share their experiences and help out. I have learned so much over the years, and it's a real pleasure to be able to pass my knowledge on." The 53-year-old was recognised by Their Majesties the King and the Queen Consort as part of the official coronation celebrations in conjunction with the Royal Voluntary Service. She was one of 500 outstanding volunteers to be chosen as the nation's coronation champions, following a call to the nation to nominate their volunteer heroes. Almost 5,000 entries were received, with nominations made for individuals 14 up to 103, and Geraldine impressed judges with her work to raise awareness across all aspects of how we live, learn, work and support people affected by ADHD, including children, young people and adults. She has been instrumental in providing information, guidance and support to over 400 families in the west of Scotland, running regular meetings for parents as well as youth activities. She also provides training to schools, clubs and other groups to help the wider community. Geraldine, who set up the group in 2014, added, "It's a huge honour to have been nominated by parents within our group to receive this fantastic award." Geraldine received a specially designed, official Coronation Champion pin and a certificate signed by Their Majesties, and will attend a garden party at Holyrood Palace in July. Catherine Johnson, CBE, Chief Executive of Royal Voluntary Service, said judges were completely blown away by the response to the awards and nomination process. She told us, "Our judges had a tough job selecting just 500 champions from an array of thousands of inspirational individuals who all deserve to be recognised and commended. Each of our coronation champions displayed a commitment and contribution that far exceeds any expectation, and we're overjoyed to honour and thank them during this exciting point in history. You can find out more about the support and services offered by ADHD Parents Support West Glasgow on their website. Just head to www.adhdglasgow.org. That's www.adhdglasgow.org. Piping Festival returns. Piping Live to return in 2023. Piping Live will return for its 20th edition this summer, with an eclectic calendar of events from Saturday the 12th to Sunday the 20th of August 2023. The world's biggest piping festival annually attracts over 30,000 attendees to Glasgow, and this year, the Piping Live team hopes to bring in even more visitors as it celebrates 2 decades as a cornerstone in the Scottish cultural calendar. General tickets went on sale Friday the 19th of May. Finlay MacDonald, Artistic Director for Piping Live, said, "We are delighted to be launching the 20th edition of Piping Live. It's incredible to think back on how much the festival has grown over the last 20 years. I'm extremely proud to be involved in the direction of what is now a major cultural and musical event for Scotland and the global piping and traditional music scene. Piping is more popular than ever. There are more people from diverse backgrounds playing. The music is both steeped in tradition as well as forward-looking and innovative. This rise in popularity is in no small part down to the continued support from our audiences and the dedication of the teams behind Piping Live and the World Pipe Band Championships. There is a real energy in the piping and drumming scene in anticipation of Piping Live this year. Glasgow is certainly going to be alive with music, friendship and camaraderie. The team here at the National Piping Centre have been working tirelessly to deliver the festival this year, despite substantial funding cuts across the events industry. So we really need your public support. Please purchase tickets. Please donate what you can and encourage others to come out and enjoy the world-class performances this August. Never has your sport been more vital in ensuring the iconic festival and the scene it supports continues to thrive. The Piping Live closing concert will round off the 20th edition with performances by some festival favourites, including the multi-instrumentalists Ross Ainsley and Ali Hutton, who have been involved since its earliest days. The duo will perform with Eileen Piper, Jarlath Henderson, who performed at the first Piping Live festival, and guitarist Innes Watson. The Pipe Major Alistair Gillish Memorial Recital Challenge, Piping Live's flagship event of the solo piping, will be at the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall's Strathclyde Suite this year. The competition will pit 5 top solo pipers against each other. Performances this year will come from Angus McCall, Stuart Liddell, Sarah Muir, Callum Beaumont, and the 2022 champion Matt McIsaac. The International Quartet competition will feature 6 of top grade 1 pipe band quartets in the world: Fieldmarshal Montgomery, Northern Ireland; Inveraray District, Scotland; Manawatu, Scottish, New Zealand; 78th Fraser Highlanders, Canada; Shotts and Dykehead, Caledonia, Scotland; and Peoplesford Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia, Scotland. Event tickets. Are you interested in attending the event? Then here's how you can get your tickets. For 2023, Piping Live is working with a new ticketing partner to make in-person ticket purchasing as smooth as possible. Customers will now be able to add all of their tickets into one basket, and there will be multi-ticket discounts available for the first time. General tickets went on sale at 10 AM Friday 19th of May. Live streaming will return to Piping Live, with an exciting programme of live and premiered events and concerts to be announced. Tickets and more information on where and when each performance is happening are available at www.pipinglive.co.uk. Sustainable Stylist aims to help 40 for 40 efforts. A new campaign aimed at helping would-be fashionistas dress for less has been launched by a leading charity, and it is hoped the move will also raise vital funds and awareness for the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice. The 40 for 40 campaign aims to show how people can purchase a full outfit for under £40, and help to support the hospice in its 40th year. To do that, the charity has enlisted its first ever ambassador for its hospice shops, with the sustainable stylist Victoria Lee charged with drumming up business. She told the Herald, "I'm very excited and honoured to be the first retail ambassador for the hospice shops. My passion is promoting sustainable fashion choices to help improve our environment for everyone. My whole business is centred around personal shopping for people from the incredible host of charity shops which are available on our doorsteps. For 4 decades, the hospice has been providing vital, compassionate care, free of charge to the people of Greater Glasgow and their families. As a charity, the hospice must raise more than £3 million each year just to keep its doors open, and one of the ways it raises funds is through the network of 17 charity shops based in local communities throughout Glasgow. The hospice shops contribute more than £500,000 to the hospice every year." Angela Renton, Retail Operations Manager for the charity, added, "We are delighted to have Victoria on board. She epitomises our whole ethos, promoting the circularity of clothing to reduce landfill and therefore improve our environment. We want to expand and encourage people who may not have considered charity shopping previously to give it a go. Each year, approximately 350,000 tonnes of used but still wearable clothes are sent to the landfill in the UK, with Victoria on a mission to change that." She added, "Fast fashion isn't the answer. We're all able to get our fashion fixes from our local charity shops. I'm just delighted to be part of the hospice shop's journey and to providing the people of Glasgow with quality, sustainable and pre-loved clothing. People can take part in the 40 for 40 campaign by visiting a hospice shop throughout Glasgow and sharing their pre-loved outfits through social media by tagging @hospice shops. Family announcements. Deaths. Adam, Flora. Peacefully at home on Thursday, May the 11th, 2023, Flora, much loved wife of the late Peter, beloved mother to David and Lynn, and much loved grandmother to Melissa, Natalie and Chantel, and great-grandmother to Alexander and David, sister of Lorna and the late Betty, Murdo, Jim and Ian. Funeral service to take place at Campsie Parish Church, Lennoxtown on Thursday, May the 25th, 2023, at 10 a.m, and thereafter to Glasgow Crematorium, Mary Hill, at 11:15 a.m. Family flowers only, please. Letters page. 24th of May 2023. Let's talk. Like Iceland, we should drill Earth's crust for clean power. Sir, I have been watching the energy debate with an ever-mounting degree of exasperation. On the one hand, we have the government trying to persuade us to invest in noisy, inefficient heat pumps, and, on the other, the SNP trying to cover Scotland with Chinese-built wind turbines, which are also vastly expensive, blotting the landscape, killing wildlife and requiring a substitute when it's too windy for them to operate. What are we to do? Simples. I have more than once advocated using your technical know-how gained in the oil industry to drill down to the hotter regions in the Earth's crust for geothermal power, as the Icelanders do. This is the cleanest source of power imaginable. Indeed, recently, a friend in Aberdeenshire found that a neighbour whose ex-oil industry had powered his entire house by just those means. The trouble is that the very people who could start trialling this are totally focused on unsightly, inefficient wind turbines. They have no vision. Yours, etc., Andrew H.N. Gray. Address supplied. One of the most divisive politicians of our times, Sir, the erstwhile First Minister Nicola Sturgeon laments her frustration at being unable to broker the common ground necessary to advance difficult or controversial policy changes. What an astonishingly self-centred observation. Perhaps her comment made in October 2022 that I detest the Tories and everything they stand for might begin to explain the difficulty in brokering the common ground. During the passage of the hugely controversial Gender Reform Recognition Bill, she ventured that opponents to the bill are transphobic, deeply misogynistic, often homophobic, and possibly some of them racist as well. It is frankly beyond reality that she surmises she had concerns about the part I might be playing, however unwittingly, in the polarisation of our politics. It is without question that history will conclude that Nicola Sturgeon was one of the most divisive politicians of her generation, but it may be too much to believe that one day she will realise that for herself. Yours, etc., Richard Allison, by email. Mailchit Darling Embankment. Sir, the Royal Mail has just brought out commemorative Blackadder postage stamps 40 years after the BBC sitcom began. There is a classic Great War scene in which General Mailchit, Stephen Fry, examines a model of land won in a terrible battle just one day previously. What is the scale? He asked Captain Darling, Tim McInnery. 1 to 1, comes the reply. It was recently reported that Ukraine had made gains in the long-running battle for Bakhmut, with the Ukrainians proudly announcing they'd retaken 1.2 miles of territory. Yours, etc., John V. Lloyd, by email. Keep guard up against COVID-19. Sir, mask wearing in Scottish health and social care settings is to be relaxed because we are told by Professor Jason Leach, the National Clinical Director, that mortality in Scotland and worldwide from COVID has decreased. According to the National Records of Scotland, average weekly deaths involving COVID this year were 62 in the 18 weeks to week commencing May the 1st, a total of 1,115. Over the previous 18-week period, from the end of August until the end of last year, the weekly figure was 45, a total of 810, and an increase of 38% on the average per week. Professor Leach needs to correct his statement that COVID mortality is declining in Scotland. Even by equally splitting the most recent 18 weeks, during the last 9 weeks, deaths involving COVID had risen to an average of 66 from 58 during the previous 9 weeks from the start of 2023, a rise of 14%. It is important to remember that every one of these numbers are real people with multiple family members affected. All the more reason why we need to maintain our guard in COVID and be told an accurate story. Our senior clinicians need to do better if they're to retain our trust. If the real reason to relax mask wearing is that it has little effect on infection levels, they need to tell us that. Yours, etc., Neil Anderson, address supplied. EPSO regulated. This newspaper and its website is a member of the Independent Press Standards Organisation, the regulatory body for the press, and abide by its code of conduct. If you have a complaint about editorial content which relates to inaccuracy or intrusion, then contact the editor. If you remain dissatisfied with the response provided, then you can contact IPSO at Gatehouse, 1 Farringdon Street, London, EC4M 7LG. Telephone 0300 123 2220. Email inquiries@ipso.co.uk. That's INQUIRIES @IPSO.co.uk. Reader's Charter. This newspaper is built on a tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusted brand means we're the only place you can read and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Reader's Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the charter online at kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. HSE set to target construction sites. Failure to prevent life-threatening diseases caused by dust at work is unacceptable, says the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, as it gears up for a summer targeting construction sites across Great Britain. Supported by HSE's Dust Kills campaign, which provides free advice to businesses and workers on the control measures required to prevent exposure to dust, the inspections throughout May, June and July will focus on respiratory risks from exposure to dust. Each year in the construction industry, there are thousands of preventable cases of irreversible lung disease due to past exposure to dust. These diseases often have a life-changing impact and can result in an early death. HSE's Chief Inspector of Construction, Michael Thomas, said, "Every year we see construction workers die from diseases caused or made worse by their work. This is unacceptable in the 21st century, when occupational lung disease is preventable. We are urging employers and workers to take the necessary precautions today to protect their long-term lung health, to avoid them and their families suffering from the devastating impact that can result. The inspections, part of a respiratory health intervention initiative, will specifically focus on dust control, checking employers and workers to know the risks, plan their work, and are using the right controls. Inspectors will be checking the control measures in place to protect workers from inhaling construction dust, including silica and wood dust. They will also gain assurances that asbestos containing materials have been identified and removed where necessary to prevent or reduce exposure. The initiative is supported by HSE's Dust Kills campaign. This provides advice and guidance on the Work-Right website for employers, small builders and workers to help everyone understand the risks and how to stay healthy on site. The primary aim of the inspection initiative is to ensure workers' health is being protected. However, if safety risks or other areas of concern are identified, inspectors will take the necessary action. Healthy Eating Campaign for Kids. 4 new superheroes, Awesome Oats, Brilliant Barley, Wicked Wheat, and Amazing Oilseed Rape will be embarking on a sustainable healthy eating campaign during the 2023 school summer term. Have you ever wondered how these super seeds, the staple of our diet, are grown in Scotland and incorporated into so many of our everyday foods? Join the Snack Attack Challenge to find out. Rural education charities, the Royal Highland Education Trust, RHET, and Royal Northern Countryside Initiative, RNCI, have been working to create a super-powered journey of discovery of our sustainable Scottish seeds and grains. As part of the year-long spotlight on arable crops, RHET have produced a number of focused teaching resources for all age levels linked to the curriculum. Food production in Scotland is as wide and varied as our landscape, explains Katrina Barclay, RHET Executive Officer. Our Journey of Food activity offers an opportunity to spotlight a different sector within Scottish agriculture each year, which demonstrates local food production, careers, nutritional information, environment and land use, data gathering, and meeting people behind the sector, to name a few areas. If you are a teacher or have children in school, this challenge is now live, and after a school is signed up, they have been entered into a draw to have a real tractor visit their school. Pupils will be encouraged to help find these superheroes in their snack and vote for their favourite. Competition is heating up, so be sure to visit www.rhet.org.uk/teachers/the-great.
Travelodge vacancies across Scotland. Travelodge, one of the UK's largest hotel chains, which operates 579 hotels across the UK, including 41 hotels in Scotland, is gearing up for a busy summer season and is looking to fill over 400 positions across its UK hotels, including 35 roles in its Scotland Travelodge hotels. There has never been a better time than now to join one of the most dynamic and diverse hospitality sectors in the world, the UK hospitality sector. It employs around 1.8 million people, giving many young people their first experience of work. It is also one of the biggest revenue generators for the UK economy and plays a vital role at the heart of communities and local economies across the UK. Travelodge is a leading player within the UK hospitality sector and is dedicated to helping its colleagues to learn more, earn more and belong. Travelodge opened the country's first branded budget hotel in 1985, and today the group operates nearly 600 hotels across the UK, Ireland and Spain, and employs over 12,000 colleagues. To further support its colleagues, Travelodge has added 2 new levels to its Aspire programme, allowing colleagues to gain a formal qualification by way of an apprenticeship. The comprehensive programme provides a clear pathway of development for hotel and maintenance colleagues. The 35 jobs that need to be filled immediately across the group's 41 Travelodge hotels in Scotland include full and part-time positions with flexible working hours, making them ideal for parents and students. For further details on all positions at Travelodge and to apply, please visit www.travellodge.co.uk.
Farmers warned of cable dangers. As we enter one of the busiest times of the agricultural calendar, SSEN Distribution is reminding farmers of its annual safety drive, asking them to be mindful of the overhead electricity network and to look out, look up, look after yourself. SSEN's successful farm safety campaign has been tailored and developed over the years through direct engagement with farming communities and organisations. It's this ongoing feedback that has influenced the 2023 Farm Safety Drive, which includes radio, trade press, digital and social media advertising, talks, meetings and events will also be held across both north and south distribution areas throughout the harvest months to enable farmers, contractors and SSEN to continue to spread the safety message from spring through to autumn. In the last year, SSEN has seen around 800 non-injury events in farms and fields across its network of the north of Scotland and central southern England, compared to 853 in 2021 and 865 in 2020. While these figures continue to move in the right direction, SSEN knows there is no room for complacency and is keen to reach as many farmers and agricultural contractors as possible to bring this number down even further year on year. Peter Vujanich, Head of Safety for SSEN Distribution, said, SSEN's Look Out, Look Up, Look After Yourself initiative aims to provide farmers with crucial information that could help save lives and prevent debilitating injuries. We describe this campaign as crafted by farmers, for farmers, as our ongoing collaboration with the agricultural community and farmers' action unions has heavily influenced the campaign's direction. The feedback we've received from farmers indicates that tiredness and time pressure are the primary reasons for accidents involving overhead power lines, so we're urging farmers, landowners and their contractors to not only be aware of their surroundings and potential hazards, but also to prioritise their own well-being. To find out more about safety around the network and the steps you can take to stay safe while working outdoors, please visit www.ssen.co.uk/power-cuts.
Airport welcomes China route return. Edinburgh Airport will welcome the return of a direct service to Beijing this summer as Hainan Airlines touches down in Scotland. The airline will operate flights twice weekly between Scotland's busiest airport and the Chinese capital from June the 26th until October the 8th. This will be the only direct flight connecting Scotland and China when it begins operating next month. Gordon Dewar, Chief Executive of Edinburgh Airport, said, "The return of direct flights to Beijing is fantastic news as we gear up for a hugely exciting summer and is further evidence of the strong recovery we're seeing here at Edinburgh. This service will be the only one operating between Scotland and China when it is introduced and is a real show of faith in the market by Hainan Airlines. This important connectivity will provide a boost to Scotland's economy."
District News, Kirkintilloch. Churches. Home Church, Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. One church, 4 locations: Kirkintilloch, Carmyle, Stornoway and online. A church for all ages. O Lord, you have done wonderful things. Isaiah 25 verse 1. Sunday, May the 27th, 9:30 AM, Communion. 10 AM, prayer meeting followed by refreshments. 11 AM, worship service, children's church and creche, followed by refreshments. New location, Carmyle Church, Carmyle. Evening services at 6:30 PM, Tuesdays. Engine room at 9:30 AM for prayer and teaching. Bible study on Zoom at 3 PM. Also, Bible study in the church at 7:15 PM. Wednesdays, mothers and babies 10 AM to 11:30 AM. Homes groups for prayer and Bible study, 7:15 PM and online. New group starting for young adults, 18 to 25. Fridays, Youth Fellowship at 7:30pm to 9:30pm. Home radio is now on 100.8 FM as well as Spotify, etc. See Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date information. Lane to Union Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11am, read by Reverend Dan Carmichael. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The Meeting Place coffee shop is open on Wednesdays 10am to noon in the new hall. Meet your friends and enjoy a chat over a cup of tea or coffee. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The Drop-In Youth Cafe on Thursdays 3:45pm to 5pm. Each week there is a free snack, with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. The coffee pot is open on Fridays 10am till noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Colston Well Park Church. Colston Well Park Church welcomes you to our service this Sunday, starting at 11am, which will be a baptismal service led by Reverend Leslie Grieve. Tea and coffee served in the hall after the service. The Colston Art Club continues this Monday from 10am to 1pm, and new members are invited. So feel free to join us, and for further information call 07709 584 680. The Colston Tea Break continues this Wednesday from 11am to 12:30pm, and if you enjoy good company, good food and friendly chat, well, pop along. It's all free. The food bank continues its good work within the community and is open every Friday from 11am to 1pm and 2pm to 4pm. This is an essential and worthwhile work, so thanks to all those who assist, no matter how small, in this undertaking. Follow our services on Facebook at Colston Well Park Parish Church, and if you require further information on any of our church activities, contact Leslie Grieve on 07813 255 052. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. There is a communion service in the chapel Thursday, May the 25th at 11am, and at 9am on Sunday, May the 28th, Pentecost Sunday, when we celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit to the early church. The 10:30am communion service with hymns on Sunday is in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. Also on Sunday, May the 28th in the evening, there is a journey event at 7pm. It's called Journeying in the Spirit and explores how our faith can change over the course of our lifetime. You are welcome to come along. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media. Facebook, St James the Less Bishopbriggs. Website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Torrance Parish Church. May 21st is Communion Sunday at 10:30am, and it will be conducted by Reverend Stuart Irvin. There will be a retirement collection on behalf of the Lodging House Mission, one of the Presbytery's charities. To join the service online, go to www.torranceparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9am to noon for teas and coffee and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? To find out about regular weekly activities and events, check the website for what's on at www.tpc.org.uk. Everyone is very welcome to come along to any of our services. Kenmure Parish Church. Reverend Susan Anderson will lead us in our Pentecost service this Sunday, beginning at 11am. The service is live streamed on YouTube. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. All are welcome to come along and enjoy some tea, coffee and home baking, along with a lively chat with old and new friends in a warm and friendly atmosphere at our Thursday morning tea room. It is open from 10:30am till noon. Please note that this will be our final tea room before we stop for the summer months. We will restart in October. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, May 28th, will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and will be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. This Sunday is Pentecost, and the congregation are encouraged to wear something red if possible. Wednesday welcome will take place on Wednesday, May 24th, and the church will be open from 9 a.m. Tea, coffee and baking will be available from 10 a.m. There will be a short service beginning at 11:30 a.m. taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. Wednesday, June the 7th, will be our monthly Open Doors Day. The church will be open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tea and coffee is available during this time. It is hoped that there will be a short musical interlude between noon and 1 p.m. For further details, please check St Mary's website. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street, every Wednesday, our coffee corner is open from noon to 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over a coffee. On Sunday, there will be a Zoom service at 6:30 p.m. The speaker this week will be Rodney Johnson. A warm invitation to everyone who is able to join us on Zoom. Access details for the stream can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." John chapter 6 verse 35. St David's Memorial Park Church. At St David's Memorial Park Church, our Sunday morning service on May the 28th will be at 10:30 a.m. All are welcome to attend their service. During the service, school-aged children will have the opportunity to go through to our halls with the leaders of JAM for their own time of fun and learning. Our Tuesday lunchtime service will be held each Tuesday from noon in our small hall. Our next service will be May the 30th. All are welcome to attend this afternoon service. The Friendship Club will meet in the coffee bar each Tuesday during the summer months at 2 p.m. Come along and enjoy fellowship over a cup of tea or coffee. Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship on Sunday, May the 28th, will be conducted by Reverend Dean Taylor in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sunday school meets in room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in room 2. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11 a.m. There is a Sunday school for children aged 3 years to primary 7 and focus for secondary pupils. A creche is available for children under 3. Thursday Club is May the 25th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the church hall. Enjoy tea and coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rummikub or Uno. If preferred, you can sit back and chat and or do your knitting. There are books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. There is also a church sales table with cards, knitted baby jackets, homemade jam, chutney, etc. Come and sing. The Dementia Singing Group meets on Tuesday, May the 30th at 1:15 p.m. in the church hall. A warm welcome awaits all, and of course a cuppa with some delicious home baking. Please feel free to come and sing. District News, General. Holyrood View. HPMAs will help our seas to recover. By Ross Greer, MSP. Scotland has a stunningly beautiful coastline, but for decades we have trashed our oceans and decimated the amazing wildlife they contain. Direct human activities and the man-made climate crisis have destroyed fish stocks and left vast swathes of the seabed damaged to such an extent they'll take decades to recover. Healthy seas are important for so many reasons. Species like kelp and seagrass are essential to stopping the breakdown of our climate because of how effectively they absorb CO2. Scottish seagrass is 35 times more effective at carbon capture than tropical rainforests, but 90% of the UK's seagrass has already been lost. Healthy seas also mean thriving coastal communities, a sustainable and successful fishing industry, and food on our plates. One of the policies the Scottish Greens are involved in delivering through the Scottish Government is the creation of highly protected marine areas covering 10% of our seas. Fishing and other invasive activities will be banned from these zones, allowing fish stocks in the wider marine environment to recover. HPMAs aren't a new idea. There are examples of this sort of protection all around the world, and they've had amazing results. Nature recovery within the HPMA has been shown to spread and help fish stocks recover far beyond the zones themselves. HPMAs work, and one of the best examples is Lamlash Bay in Arran, which has seen a dramatic recovery of local marine wildlife. The zone is extremely popular locally and has boosted the tourist economy and provided educational and research opportunities. There has been a great deal of concern about the plans in some communities. It's absolutely understandable that some fishing communities will be worried about a negative impact in their area. Many of these communities are already in a vulnerable position, and no one intends on making that worse. Indeed, all the evidence points to local economic benefits from HPMAs. For HPMAs to work, there needs to be community support. These communities have had to face a huge amount of anti-HPMA disinformation, notably from the Tories, who are opposing the plans for more opportunistic reasons. Despite HPMAs being their own manifesto and their government introducing them in England. And that was the Holyrood View by Ross Greer MSP. Tess needs a loving home. Introducing Tess, a charming dog, eagerly awaiting loving owners without children or any other pets to call her own. She is amazing, affectionate, fun-loving, and can't resist the opportunity to play in water. Tess yearns for a tranquil abode with a quiet garden, devoid of surrounding noises and vehicle commotion. For those willing to adapt to her unique preferences, Tess will be a delightful companion and has the potential to grow into a loving and loyal companion, ready to bring endless happiness to her new owners. If you think you can provide a home for Tess or any of the 50 dogs currently available for rehoming, please call the centre on 01506 873 459. Horticultural Society. Potential new members will be made welcome, or alternatively can find out more about the Society by calling Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visiting our website www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. Success Looks Different. Applications for the Success Looks Different Award, which recognises schools who actively celebrate the successes and achievements of their pupils with additional support needs, opens today. Returning for a second year, Success Looks Different asks schools to share how they are supporting the achievements of their pupils with additional support needs out with formal exams and assessments. Developed by Scotland's National Inclusion Ambassadors Group, its intention to highlight and celebrate education settings who support and champion children's rights and can evidence inclusion practices embedded within the school ethos, values and practice. In the words of the Inclusion Ambassadors, it is important that these inclusion practices reflect real, meaningful and genuine practices and are not just to tick a box. The Inclusion Ambassadors have been involved in the development of the awards throughout, from initial inception to the success criteria, identifying key components of success based on their own experiences of what inclusion can, or should, look like in an education setting. They will be directly involved in the judging process and will help select winners of the 2023 award. Lucy Johnson, Senior Children's Rights Officer with Inquire, who is managing the award, said, "We are delighted to be running Success Looks Different for a second year, and it feels significant to be launching it as the 2023 exams are still taking place. We know that for many children and young people, particularly those with additional support needs, success doesn't always come in the form of exam results or formal assessments. Success Looks Different provides a platform for schools to share some of their innovative work and demonstrate how they are a truly inclusive community, supporting and celebrating all of their pupils. Last year, we heard some great examples of how success was celebrated in a lot of different forms, as well as examples of pupils co-producing initiatives or new approaches. We look forward to hearing more examples of good practice this year. The award is open to all publicly funded schools in Scotland. A winner will be awarded in the categories of primary, secondary and special schools. For the first time, an early learning and childcare category has also been introduced. Schools and early learning centres can find out more and self-nominate by completing a short entry form, available at children-in-scotland.org/inclusion-success-looks-different. Entries will close on Monday, July the 3rd at 5 p.m. Winners will be announced in September. District News. If you would like to highlight your group's meetings, activities or fundraising events, please get in touch via our email at kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHerald@jnscotland.co.uk. The Sporting Life Championship Playoff Final riches for winner. It is one of the most lucrative finals in the world, reckoned to be worth well over £100 million, and, on May the 27th, kick-off 4:45 p.m, football's championship final winner will make it to the heady heights of the Premier League. For the first 3 years, the playoff final took place over 2 legs, played at both sides' grounds. Charlton Athletic won the first championship playoff final in 1987, requiring a replay to defeat Leeds United. Played at the Old Wembley from 1990 until 2001, Cardiff was home to the championship playoff final from 2001 until 2006. The Millennium Stadium hosted the 3 heaviest wins in the history of the playoff final. Bolton beat Preston North End 3-0 in 2001. Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Sheffield United 3-0 in 2003. And Watford beat Leeds United 3-0 in 2006. The final returned to the new Wembley Stadium in 2007. Blackpool gained promotion from a 6th place finish in the Championship in 2010, and Watford missed out in 2013 despite being just 2 points off the automatic spots. As of 2021, the Championship playoffs involve the 4 teams that finished directly below the automatic promotion places in the EFL Championship. The highest scoring Championship playoff final came before the 3-0s at the Millennium Stadium. Charlton and Sunderland played out a 4-4 thriller at the Old Wembley Stadium back in 1998. The Addicts, Charlton Athletic, were eventual winners in a dramatic penalty shootout. Crystal Palace have won the most EFL Championship playoff finals. The Eagles won in 1989, 1997, 2004 and 2013. As of August 2021, no other club has won more than 2 playoff finals. Fulham, Hull, West Ham, Watford, Bolton, Charlton, Leicester and Swindon have each won the EFL Championship playoff final twice. Promotion to the Premier League is believed to be worth at least £85 million in the first season after promotion, and an additional £80 million the following season should immediate relegation be avoided. Since the playoff final, the second tier of English League Football Leagues itself has undergone a number of rebrands. In 1993, the Premier League was formed, a move which caused the second tier league to be renamed as the First Division. In 2004, the First Division was rebranded as the Football League Championship, before the league's adoption of the English Football League, EFL, led to a 2016 renaming as the EFL Championship. Highest attendance for a championship final was in the 2013-14 season that saw QPR beat Derby County 1-0 in front of a crowd of 87,348. By convention, the 2 finalists agree that the loser will keep all the gate receipts from the game, so as to slightly soften the financial blow of missing out. Ashfield moving on up a division. Ashfield boss Michael Oliver believes his side has exceeded expectations after winning promotion from the West of Scotland's 2nd Division. A 2-1 victory at home to Forth Wanderers last Tuesday sealed Ashfield's place in the 1st Division for next season. The home side took the lead after 15 minutes as Bobby Barr's mishit shot fell kindly for Johnny Black to sweep the ball into the net. Barr would double Ashfield's lead in 65 minutes as he intercepted a pass before curling the ball into the top corner. Forth pulled one back 5 minutes later with an own goal by Ashfield captain Sean Doherty. The visitors came close to an equaliser, but Ashfield held out to ensure their going up. Oliver was delighted to lead his side to promotion in his first year in charge since being appointed last summer, along with his assistant Jamie Broadfoot. He told the club's YouTube channel, "I'm delighted for everyone involved with the club. It's our first year together, a brand new staff, a brand new squad of players, so I'm just really happy we've been able to come in and put a team in the park good enough to compete up the top end of the league. And to the boys' credit, they've been absolutely outstanding. I think to be able to do that in our first year together, that everybody should be really proud. It's a really good achievement, and now we can look forward to planning and preparing to tackle the league above next year. At the start of the season, I don't think the committee and board would have been thinking promotion would have been achievable, so we're probably already overachieved, and they're just delighted to get back into the 1st Division and want to make sure we aren't just making up the numbers." Ashfield followed up clinching promotion with a 3-2 win away to Maybole Juniors on Saturday, and will finish off the season at home to Muirkirk Juniors this Saturday. Dynamic duo win gold at British for Scotland. Angus Davidson from Lennoxtown and Leila Livingston from Motherwell won gold for Scotland in the Grade 5 Mixed Pairs category at the British NDP Championships. Both train with Dynamic Gymnastics Academy at Ravenscraig Regional Sports Facility, coached by William Curry. Kilsyth Academy pupil Angus, 15, a 4-time Scottish champion, and No Top Primary pupil Leila, 9, a part of Scottish Gymnastic Development Pathway Programme. The duo saw off the challenge of Eddie Mudge and Leila Roberts from the Northwest to win the title. William said, "I'm so proud of Angus and Leila. They've overcome a lot of setbacks and still came out triumphant. They fought off hard competition to come home with the gold medal for Scotland and for our club." City clinched the SWPL 1 title with a late winner. Glasgow City clinched the Scottish Women's Premier League 1 title on the final day of the campaign with a dramatic late winner at Ibrox Stadium on Sunday. Both City and Rangers knew they could clinch the league with a victory, but so too could Celtic, and the trophy was already making its way from Hampden Park to Parkhead when the home side were winning 2-0 against Hearts, when Lauren Davidson made it change course. In front of the BBC Alba cameras, the game was deadlocked at 0-0 going into injury time at the end of the game, when Linda Motelo picked up the ball on the left. Davison took a heavy touch as she controlled the cross, but was still able to prod the ball past Jenna Fife and into the net. City head coach Leanne Ross has now won the title as both a player and a manager. She told the club's media team, "It's all credit to the players. They've done all the hard work. I've just come in, had to pick the team, do a wee bit of tactical work with them, but they've put in the hard yards and they thoroughly deserve the celebrations they'll have. We've led the title race for a long time this season, but it was just important we focused on ourselves and kept trying to get wins on the board, and that was the message we tried to get across every single game. We've had some tough results, but the players have stuck together and the staff have been absolutely fantastic in making sure the players were prepared, the medical team as well, because there's been a lot of tired bodies with the games coming thick and fast. Everybody has really played their part, the people behind the scenes, as well as in terms of giving us that confidence and driving us on the right throughout the season, so this title is for everyone." City midfielder Mary Fulton added, "I'm just absolutely buzzing. We knew we could do it, we definitely didn't make it easier for ourselves, but we always had belief, and we were there in the end, so I'm delighted for the club. We make it hard for ourselves, but it's even sweeter when the goal goes in after 90 plus minutes, so it's amazing." Rossville women travelled to Renfrew last night, Tuesday, as the sides went head to head for a place in the SWPL 2 playoffs. A 2-1 win away to the champions Livingston on Sunday gave Rossvale a 2-point lead over Renfrew as they went second in the SWF Championship, with the latter having lost 3-1 at Ayr United. Melissa Porter found the top corner to fire Rossvale into the lead after 23 minutes, and, while Livingston would equalise 9 minutes later, a Lindsay Holmes goal 2 minutes after the break would claim the 3 points. Meanwhile, Rossvale lost 5-1 away to St Cadoc's in their penultimate game of the WOS First Division season, despite taking the lead through Conor McAteer. Their final game before becoming Caledonian Locomotives next month will be away to Cumbernauld United on Saturday. After 3 weeks since they last kicked a ball, Glasgow Perthshire will finish up their second division season at home to Glasgow United on Saturday. Scorpions sting no match for Tigers. Glasgow Tigers are through to the final of the BSN series after the East victory over Scunthorpe Scorpions last Friday. Leading 2 points from the away leg, Tigers got the job done with a comprehensive 55-35 win at Ashfield. Ryan Douglas ensured that none of the Tigers went through the meeting unbeaten, as he top scored for Scorpions with 14 points. However, the home riders were also in great form, as Benjamin Basso and Chris Harris both hit double figures, and the rest of the squad chipped in useful additions to the total to book a meeting with the Poole Pirates in the final. Team boss Cammy Brown told the club's website, "That was seriously impressive from the boys. I know we looked strong at Ashfield, but that was a red-hot display. Some of the racing was out of the top drawer. Chris Harris and Tom Brennan both produced devastating passes, especially Chris inflicting the only defeat on Ryan. We are now in the final, and that's a great start to the season. It will be tough, but to reach a final in the first 2 months of the season is excellent. Our man of the match had to be young Ace Piper. For a 16-year-old to come on and get 2 5-1s is fairy tale stuff. He's doing such a great job for us. But this is a great boost for all the lads to get through and show what a great side we have this year." Tigers travel to Redcar Bears for the first leg of the Championship KO Cup quarter-final on Friday, with the return leg at Ashfield on Tuesday.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels, review, and to tell your friends about our service.